Chapter 1, Section 3, Communication in Science. Communicating results. Scientists have the responsibility to truthfully and accurately report their methods and results. Peer review is a process in which other researchers in the same field review research before it is published. This helps maintain ethics and helps reduce bias. As we saw earlier, bias is the tendency for your own or a researcher's beliefs and expectations to influence the results of an experiment. Communication allows others to learn of new discoveries and conduct new investigations based on previous investigations. Graphs. Graphs are visual representations of data. Line graphs show how two variables are related. So the independent variable goes on the horizontal axis or the x-axis, in this case temperature in Kelvin. Note that you have the variable and then the units on the axis. Dependent variable is on the vertical axis or the y-axis. So going up this way is the y-axis. So gas volume, in this case, there's the name of your variable, and then the units in cubic centimeters. Circle graphs are used to show how a whole is divided into its parts. Bar graphs use rectangles to represent quantitative data that can be divided into categories. So types of graphs. Again, so we have bar graphs, which use rectangles to show quantitative data that are divided into categories. So in this case, types of cars or types of vehicles. And number of vehicles is on the y-axis over here. Circle graphs show percentages of a whole or parts of a whole. So in this case, all vehicles, but then the number of vehicles in each category help determine the percentages. So we divided this up into categories such as four-door cars, pickup trucks, vans, SUVs, two-door cars, and then the percentage of each one of those. But all of these together make up all vehicle types or all vehicles. And then you have line graphs, which line graphs basically show a independent variable on the x-axis, in this case time, and then a dependent variable on the y-axis, in this case distance from school. So models. A scientific model is a physical and or mathematical and or conceptual representation of a system of ideas, events, or processes. So it can be physical, it can be mathematical, it could be conceptual, which is like a description or a diagram of some sort. And it represents ideas, events, or processes. Models are used when the real thing is either too large or too small, too slow or too fast, too hazardous or otherwise difficult to study directly. Models change as more data is gathered. For example, early astronomers thought the Earth was at the center of the solar system, but more observations revealed that the Sun is at the center of the solar system and the Earth really isn't at the center of anything. Our Sun, in fact, is not even at the center of the galaxy. We are in an arm of the galaxy. Theories versus laws, or theories and laws. A scientific theory is an explanation based on many observations during repeated investigations. It's like a hypothesis that's been proven to be correct over and over and over again. These are consistent with observations, so scientific theories make predictions that can be tested. They are the simplest explanation of observations, and they can change with additional data. Just because something becomes a theory doesn't mean it's set in stone, that if there's new data, it can change. A scientific law is a principle that describes the behavior of a natural phenomenon, but does not explain why it happens. So the big difference really between a theory and a law is a law just describes something that happens, but doesn't really say why it happens. We just know that it does happen. Whereas a theory, we have an explanation. We have a mechanism underlying that we could say this is why this happens. So again, theory explains why natural phenomena occur. Laws summarize a set of observations about natural phenomena, but doesn't really say why it occurs. And they have in common, they're based on hypotheses. They can be used to make predictions, and they can both be revised. Neither one of these is set in stone. The limitations of science. So science can explain many things, but it cannot answer every question. Science can only answer questions about things that can be tested and verified. So science cannot really answer questions about values, emotions, or opinions that are not scientific. So somebody could look at this over here and say, that is a beautiful piece of art. And somebody else could say, that is a hideous creation. So that's a matter of opinion. Somebody may really think this is pretty, and other people may think it's horrible. So you can't really base that on science. Surveys, however, can provide data about how many people have a certain value or opinion, but cannot prove that it is true of everyone. So, for example, does pineapple belong on pizza? Some people think it does. Some people think it doesn't. You could do a survey to find out how many people fit in each category. You could do a survey to determine if more people believe that or not, but you can't really do a survey to decide that that's true or not.